Hello, welcome back to MENES. And we're talking Life is Strange, True Colors. And I have some things to say about episode 2. Firstly, that I was wrong, and this game is actually good, and it's capable of being good, you know? And I don't know what I just remember being kind of like meh, or it's kind of mediocre in the last one. And to be fair, I do think episode 1 leaves a lot to be desired. But I think that I think episode 2 does a good job at fixing a lot of the me being invested issues, and not really knowing where our story is going, you know? Which was a big complaint I had in the last one. Because I felt like in the other Life is Strange games, you definitely got a feel for what was happening, or you could make some good guesses at it. This episode definitely sets up more about what it's going to be about. Uh, that being said, I think there's got to be some way we could have condensed episode 1 to be a shorter runtime and to just be part of episode 2. Maybe this game could have been good if they had cut like a little bit of the content and then made like 3 longer episodes, kind of like Life is Strange Before the Storm there. And it would have just felt more thematically correct at that rate. Like, I mean, I guess it's nice to have like a little break between like his death and then like the next episode and all of that. So I kind of get why they went in this direction, but I don't know. I mean, I think this was a much stronger episode. Very emotional in a lot of places. Everyone's kind of dealing with the loss of Gabe there, and then you're trying to help everyone kind of get through it, and then also trying to figure out, because there's like this whole thing, and I think I probably mentioned it in the last episode, where it's like the blast went off, but they like told them not to send the blast off, which didn't make any sense. But it turns out that's like intentional. Like that's part of the mystery, is like what the fuck happened with that. And they blame the one guy, Mac, for like not accepting the call, but spoilers by the way. It turns out that like Mac did accept a call, and he told them not to blast, but they blasted anyway. So this is like something to do with the company or something. Typhon, who I don't think has been name dropped until like this episode, to where they say it a bunch of times. Also, another thing, what little thing that annoys me about this episode, and I don't know if it was in the previous episode too, but every like 5 seconds when I'm out there walking around and just trying to help people and stuff, Alex is like, I really should go to the dispenser. I really should go to the dispenser. I should really find that flower shop. I should really find that flower. He keeps doing this shit, and it's just like, thanks. It's very, very distracting what you're doing here. I liked it in the last game where Chloe was just kind of quiet, and then, or I guess that wasn't the last game, it was 2 games ago, but and Before the Storm, where you just like look at your hand, and that was the objective, and then you could drop your hand. Okay, great. And that was only if I wanted to do that, so, I guess by last game, I mean last Deck 9 game, so. Anyways, yeah, but this was a lot better. There's a lot better emotion and stuff. I feel like you kind of go to a few different people within the town there. Like Steph comes to you the first time, and then you can go to her at the record shop there, and you're trying to help Ethan, the little kid, because he's basically lost his father figure. So there's like, you set up like a LARP, like a live action role playing thing, like they were gonna go to. They have like a wake for him, there at the bar that y'all live at, and I thought it was really nice after that. Jed, he's like, you stay here as long as you want, and all of that, and that's just really nice. I think that's where the episode started to really get me attached, like really get me to like feel stuff. So yeah, and then you go, and this one kind of hit me personally too. I mean, I feel like it would hit most other people maybe all right enough, but it's kind of tragic because you know, I've dealt with this within my family, and it's kind of one of these things that I hope doesn't happen to me or to my mom or anybody, but like on my mom's side, our grandma, she had Alzheimer's, and the lady in this episode, Eleanor, who's running the flower shop, who you got to go talk to, uh, definitely has something like that, Alzheimer's or like dementia or something, because like she's forgetting things, and so you actually have to help her and walk her back through the steps in her day, starting with like she flipped the sign over to show that they were open, and she starts to remember things gradually, and then she finally remembers by the end, which is really kind of cool. And then you get presented with this choice. You either have to tell her, because she's like, oh, well, lilies, they're like a sign of like, you know, like mourning or loss or something, and it's like you have to like either tell her or not tell her that like your brother died or whatnot. And it's just really tragic and kind of like heartbreaking, but it's really nice to kind of go through it all and help her out and have her start to remember things again. I think that's really, that's wholesome, you know. I really I appreciated that part, maybe from some personal experience and whatnot, but that part kind of hit well with me. um Also, you go to this dispensary of his girlfriend there, and she's all like, um, Typhon's trying to like give me money to be quiet, keep quiet or whatever. And you know what I noticed was the lady walking out of that place is that Diane lady. So at the end there, when she's like looking, everyone's like overjoyed at the end of the episode, but she's like feeling anxious or scared or something, and she like looks back at you, and you can, because you can see all the emotions with the auras or whatever. um and so, and then it hit me, I'm like, oh, she's from Typhon. That's like where they're going with that thing. I mean, maybe that was obvious or something, but it wasn't obvious to me until that moment. That's gonna be her role in the story, because she's just kind of there, and they just kind of introduce her like really briefly in the episode. It's like, who the fuck is this? What does she matter? But she, obviously she's from the company. That's why she was there. She was giving the you know, the thing to her Charlotte there, the girlfriend or whatnot. So so yeah, interesting stuff. So they're kind of setting up that, and it's something about we're gonna have to go and take down this company. And it turns out that like Mac was keeping quiet about that. Like I said that I think earlier, but I thought that was good too, where you go and confront him, but you like kind of, you know, I always was there to stand up for this guy. He's kind of a jerk, but you know, I didn't want him to get blamed as like a murderer if he didn't do it, so I wanted all the facts, right? So, sometimes you just gotta believe in people and just assume the best until you find out otherwise. And obviously sometimes you don't do that, but I'm just saying, you know, I feel like the automatic reaction is to just assume the worst, when I feel like we should assume the best in people, you know, take on a Pa Kent, you know, fucking philosophy about it. You know, Superman, his dad or whatever, that was kind of his philosophy. So yeah, you know, it's just, I thought a lot of that was nice. I thought, you know, trying to go around and talking to the people, and you hear all this other stuff around the town, you know, like people are really worried about this company, and they're worried about you and your brother, and how that's all playing out. And I just, I got it, you know. Here we are. They made a like a good Life is Strange True Colors episode, you know, after the first episode, which didn't really hit me for all that much. But I wonder also, if they hadn't had that episode, would I even feel as invested at all? Because you have to see the calm before the storm. It's not a pun I was trying to make, but you know, it works. To kind of understand like this. These people all really like this guy, and it's impacted. I don't think it would work as well if you just straight cut to him falling off the cliff, and then you're in episode 2, which is, you know, the better episode. But I think episode 1 actually works, but it doesn't. It's still not a great episode. It's still necessary. You know what I mean? Like it's weird. I'm just glad they're improving and they're building on their story. You know, it was like a slow burn sort of situation. So, because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really have a lot of confidence in this game after playing that first episode. And now, after this, I'm like, okay, yeah, I see where we're kind of going with this. We're kind of doing a mystery thing again, like we did in Life is Strange 1. That's kind of cool. Potentially, you know, this is going to be a pretty good game, you know? I'm excited. You know, I'm most excited to play more Life is Strange stuff. I mean, the second one had its ups and downs as well. You know, it's not perfect, and this game's probably not going to be perfect either, but, you know, it's getting me somewhere, so I like that. I like that a lot. The other thing I like is that the game looks really nice. Like, you just look around, it's so colorful. I know it's probably, like, True Colors, that's, like, the name of the game. They're trying to be colorful and stuff, but, like, the scenery is just so wonderful and peaceful in this town. It's such a cool looking town, you know. I really enjoy it, and it gives that small town vibes, you know. It's just great. I like that kind of stuff, and you can't beat that, you know. That's great. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, it's getting me somewhere, you know. We're finally kind of getting there, and we're building on these characters a little bit, and seeing how they all react to this loss and this struggle with that. And I think that's could be a powerful story going forth, and added an element of mystery in there, which is Life is Strange staple. I like that a lot. So we'll see where that goes. Oh yeah, and there's a nice little scene at the end there, near the end there, where you're talking to the other guy. I can't remember his name right now, but he's like just reminiscing about Gabe and stuff, and you see these like happy memories from him and stuff, and then you see like a new emotion, which is weird because you think you would have seen like happiness on somebody at some point, but apparently it has to be a really strong and powerful happiness. She must not have been around a lot of good people in her lives, you know, in her life. So to not have seen like this exuberantly happy state or joyful in that sense, and I thought that was kind of cool. And then she tells him about the powers and whatnot, and then, you know, setting that up as this kind of powerful moment, and then it's like the next part is them, you know, releasing this like one of those floating, you know, lantern things from like, you know, like it's entangled and shit. I don't know what you call those things. Anyway, they're releasing one of those in honor of Gabe, and I just thought that was really cool. So yeah, you know, it worked, and I thought that was nice. And everyone's got the joyful aura around them at that point, whereas before they were angry or they were anxious or fearful or whatever, and now they're all joyful, except for that Diane lady, which, you know, obviously, I'm thinking there's some bad shit going on there, but that was cool. It felt really satisfying to see that. It's just nice. It made a nice vibe, you know, and I like that. I think the game is gaining some effectiveness to do these emotional scenes, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, Life is Strange True Colors Episode 2. We're looking up, you know. We're doing better, you know. It's actually getting somewhere, and I very much appreciate that, and I can't wait to see what's next, you know. So until next time, this has been MENES saying keep it classic. Stick around for more reviews, underrated games, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Emily, out.